Krishna is neither partial nor impartial. He is impartial towards all living beings. This is why sometimes it is difficult to understand the Supreme Lord, because we would like that even with our impurities, that He shows Himself. But Yatamam Prapanyante, He reciprocates according to our desire. What we see today about Krishna, this is what is in our heart. There's no injustice. This is why association with devotees is primordial. Because if we are alone, at one point, if Krishna does not reciprocate with us, we will go towards something else, and it's logical. Because somehow, if Krishna does not reciprocate with me, and that others reciprocate with me, I will choose those who reciprocate with me. It's not that Krishna does not reciprocate, but according to a false perception, material perception, we cannot see His presence. When the Lord allows us to stay with devotees, it is His mercy, because He acts in our heart, just like the Supreme Soul. And as this Paramatma, Srila Prabhupada explains that the Lord inspires His devotee. Srila Das Thakur in Narinam Chintamani, he even goes on to say that he influences Krishna, his devotee, of always being able to progress. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and others, other great Vaishnavas who commented the Srimad Bhagavatam, they explain that although the Lord is neutral, if we are His devotee, so naturally He will show us a special favor. This is something that is logical. Prabhupada takes the example of a father. A father is impartial towards his children, but if one of his children shows him more love, so he will naturally reciprocate more, because he does not reciprocate with a preference, but with love. You understand? In the same way, the Lord, since He reciprocates with the love of His devotees, those who are in ignorance think that the Lord is partial, but He only reciprocates with love. So the more the love is profound, the more the Lord reciprocates. And we see the most perfect vision of this love is given in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they live only solely for the pleasure of Krishna. Solely for them. They only have that in their heart. Whether it is the piece of grass, Nanda Maharaj, Purnamasi, everyone have the same goal, the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. So naturally, what happens? Since Krishna reciprocates, what does He take out? His opulence, His divinity. He becomes humble because He is subjugated. He's completely, how could we say, controlled by love. When someone is controlled by love, he becomes like a baby, without any power. And we see that even demons, when they are controlled by the love of a woman, it's not the demon who controls, it's the woman. Love is extremely powerful. Love is so powerful that it can conquer the Lord Himself. Krishna explains that. Only by love can we conquer Him. But the love of the Lord, the love by which the Lord reciprocates, is not material love. This is why it is difficult. It is a love that is particular, that is present only in Vrindavan. This is why at first a devotee must really understand how to obtain that love. This love is obtained by the association of Vaishnavas, but this association can be in different ways, according to the spiritual advancement of a devotee. It is explained that we can associate with a Vaishnava through his book. So, how is this possible? Can a book speak? You understand? Can a book speak? In fact, Krishna is in the heart as the Antaryami. He can transmit everything. He can make the impossible possible. Because the word of a devotee is eternal and it must be accomplished. And this is the power of the Lord to make the words living. Because the words of his devotee and his own words are not different, because his devotee, they speak for him. They come in the material world for him, and they transmit Krishna's message for Krishna in order to deliver the living entities, because this is the desire of the Supreme Lord. A devotee does not act independently. He acts under the instructions of the Lord. So when he speaks, it is not different. So naturally, Krishna, in the heart, he can give this connection, very intimate connection, between the word of a devotee and his own words, and make it alive. That means the association, even through a book, is powerful because it's something mystical. Whether it is consciously or unconsciously, we benefit because there's a spiritual benefit. But when we are on the lowest level of devotion, Kanishta Bhakta, we cannot really realize that. There will be a benefit, but in the sense that, for example, we will read and then we will fall asleep. So the benefit is not very visible. There's a benefit in the sense that we come into contact with the Vaishnava, with Krishna. On the higher platform, when a devotee, he reads, then he can truly taste a special taste, a special association, and some feel the love of God manifest in his heart. But at the basis, we all read the same book. It is simply the coverings that cover the consciousness are more or less thick or thin. But the association only allows us to develop that love, because in the same way that a sickness transmits itself, love can be transmitted. So it is extremely important to understand that at the beginning, the faith manifests through the association of devotees. But in this age, a process is given, which is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And this process is wonderful in the sense that if we have faith and we chant at the beginning first with this chant will purify the heart gradually. It will liberate the heart and liberate the person from material suffering. that person will find peace and bliss. That person will be in bliss. Bliss is means to see the divinity everywhere. It is goodness. This goodness, which manifests itself in all senses, Krishna says, it gives joy. But goodness mixed with devotion also gives the perception of the truth. That means that what we will read, study, we will perceive the action, we'll see the proof in everything. We see, oh, the one who acts like this, he will receive this. It works like this, it works like that. We will be able to see through this goodness, this intelligence which we acquire by good association, by the study of the scriptures, we'll be able to have this vision, this spiritual vision, and realize that everything that is there in the books is a reality, because we will be able to have, how to say it, to have a vision of this in our life. We'll be able to perceive it. So that means we'll become fixated in the scriptures and will act with the scriptures. And the reaction that will happen in this action is bliss. And since Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, I forgot the verse, he explains that the instructions, the sacrifices that are done, are not different from him, and the one who accomplishes the sacrifice, he enters directly in contact with him, because Krishna, he is in his instructions. So from there, we will, through action, this vision of the Supreme Lord will come in contact with us, and gradually we'll develop an attachment at different levels. It is with this attachment that Krishna reciprocates. For example, the devotee who sees Krishna through opulence, Paramatma, Krishna will protect him, will sustain him. He will be able to surrender himself to Krishna. The principles of Sharanagati, they will be put into place, because there will be truly the feeling of taking shelter. So when we have this feeling of shelter inside of us, what happens? We do not need to really suffer to maintain ourselves. You understand? And what is this intelligence can give us? How can Krishna help us? He will say simply, you have time now to practice. You have time now to develop your relationship with me. And from there, a devotee, he will feel in his life that this is the most important thing. And when he will chant to establish this relationship with him, so that it manifests itself. So he will ask intensely Krishna through the chanting to reveal him his reality and allow him to love him. And this is when the chanting becomes efficient. From there, the chanting gives its soft rays, because Krishna can start revealing himself. And what is very mystical is that as soon as the devotee desires intensely a relationship with Krishna, desires to love Krishna, and that he finds himself useless in this world without this relationship, from then he can have a relationship, he can have an experience of Vrindavan. That means when he will start to chant, he will start to see, to feel Vrindavan through the spiritual senses. And at this level, the experience of taste is extremely strong, because because some experiences will be transcendental, in the sense that the more the Svarup, the eternal form of the devotee, will enter into the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, And the more the love of God, the experience will be strong. From there, when the experience is truly tasted, we can have a glimpse of a reality. We become conscious. Like if I have such or such position in the spiritual world, we can also become conscious of what is love of God. And we have a tangible proof that the chanting is non-different from Radha and Krishna at the transcendental level. And we're also included in these songs. So automatically, when an experience is made at this level, what happens? The devotee does not want to, he wants to stay there. The rest before was with no value. He just wants this experience because this experience is true, is the truth. It's only on this platform of existence that soul is himself. No other experiences can give him satisfaction. So automatically, there is naturally a lamentation of not being able to make it. But Krishna is intelligent. Krishna is supremely intelligent. Just like the carrot, you know? So I made you taste this. You want more? You want to go back to this? And said, yes, yes. So you must accomplish this for me now, if you want that. Only when you do this for me, you will be able to go back. So Krishna, he tests us. So a devotee becomes a preacher. Krishna tells him now, I want that my glories be told, be shared. I want you to help to free the living entities, to liberate. Before, someone is not really a preacher. What does Krishna say? Look for a spiritual master who saw me, not with these material eyes, with these eyes, lotus eyes, with the transcendental form. The one who can explain who I am, he has the power. This is what we call the guru, the preacher. Because when he speaks from an experience. It doesn't mean we cannot speak about Krishna, because otherwise nobody will speak. Not so many will speak. We know that if we speak about Krishna's glories, automatically, the one who speaks, he purifies himself and he attracts Krishna, because Krishna is attracted by his own glories. We see it in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that when you preach the pure devotional service, you become dear to Krishna. But what is the difference between listening someone who saw Krishna and someone who did not see Krishna? There are two differences. There are more benefits. Why? Because the remembrance of Krishna is present in the heart of the Vaishnava who saw Krishna. And automatically, in his words, Krishna enters in the heart of those who listen. It's very powerful. But not in those who have a spirit of duality, in the sense that I know everything. I need nothing. There's an effect, but there will be a lesser effect. It's just like the ears. Instead of having holes, you will put you'll put earplugs. Some Vaishnavas say it comes in and it comes out right away. It's not a fertile ground. Although they listen to Harikatha every day, there are no feelings that come in their heart. Because they do not listen with the proper attitude. They do not have greed for Krishna. They have greed to study, to win, to get married, but they do not have greed for Krishna. They do not have greed for love of God. So when they listen, there's no effect, because their attitude is not good. They're tired. They heard so much the same things. There's no good, they are not good recipients. In the heart, they do not have proper container. When you have a recipient, if you put the liquid, even you cannot retain one drop. So from there, such persons who have not proper attitude, they can stay 30 years to listen, but there's no effect. This is why, if we find ourselves in this case, we must truly ask ourselves questions. How much will I stay like this? How long? What is the solution? Is there a solution? We must pray. We see when the spiritual master gives instructions, the disciple does not follow it. I see here. I see often. Because we are ourselves the guru. We are the guru. We have a guru. As long as he does not chastise us, it's good. Even some devotees are afraid to see their guru. If I see him too much, it's going to be a problem. But to go across all these challenges, we must pray. We must surrender. We must have personal prayers. It's very important. I cannot do it. The deities are there. You think they're there for what? Just to make a show? They're there to accompany you. They come from the transcendental world. They manifest themselves to make visible their pastimes. But are we qualified to enter into their pastimes? At first, they can also hear your prayers. It's not that we want a fridge, a washing machine, but we need to solve our problem. But as we hear about sadhus, we can understand our problem. For example, someone who never listens to classes, who does not have the proper attitude, how can he speak about proper attitude when he sits down to give class? We call that cheating, you know. But the one who has a good attitude, who sometimes had good attitude, he has the remembrance of a good attitude, and automatically, when he will speak about this good experience. So if we have a good attitude, automatically, when we will listen to Harikatha, Krishna Katha, the glories of the Lord, automatically, we will feel a benefit. We will feel a spiritual experience that is strong. And when we will speak also in a way so that that experience comes. Because we understand when there is the experience, naturally, when we feel the Lord observing us, we say, it is true. I deviated. Because when we experience and we don't experience, we have this intelligence. We feel that the Lord is observing us, because when the experience even came once, never Krishna will get away from us. He is always there to accompany us. And this feeling of being observed, this is what gives us the answer. We know what's not going well. It's just like a break in our spiritual advancement. You know, before there were dictaphones, now they don't exist anymore. And as long as we did not press pause, the sound was not leaving. So when it's like this, Krishna, he makes a pause, he observes us, and he makes a pause on a spiritual advancement. But he never let us go. But he's not sure if we want to continue sincerely. In your previous life you started, and in this life you still don't have the strength to press the button. But Krishna is freedom personified. He will never act by forcing us. In which way will he come? The sadhus. The sadhus, they would chastise us. Oh, you. When would you press play again on the button to start again? I'm looking at you. I see you. I see you. You're cheating. You understand? And what will the devotee do? He will pray the deities. Oh, our deities, I forgot you existed. Please help me. And Krishna says, oh, I'm happy. He decided to start again. And then we will feel again, once again, we will feel just like a calling from Krishna. And our spiritual life will start again. This is why we need good association. Because as long as we have not attained Nishta, fixation in devotional service, we do not have this strength on our own to sacrifice everything. Before, there are doubts, there's material attachments, this or that, which makes sometimes us to press the button pause. And when we are in pause, we don't worry about it. We suffer, but it doesn't matter. I am attached to my freedom and my independence. For me, it's really important to be independent. I suffer. I know could not attain perfection, but it doesn't matter because the taste for independence is so strong in the conscious soul. It's been billions of existences that we are independent. We call that Nityabada. When Nityabada means we don't even know what is our first conditioning. What is the Nityabada? It seems like it's just like we're eternally conditioned. When we come in the material world, it's just like the time there will be no limit in our conditioning. This is why it is rare a person who have this strength. Most are attracted by the material energy. Oh, it's so good that finally, what do we obtain? If we study Maya, we will obtain what? Maya. If we study Krishna, we will obtain what? Krishna. You understand? So why study Maya? Because we know we will only have Maya. This is why when Krishna says Bahunam Janmanamante, after millions of existence, it takes time to surrender. Even if the soul listened that she had to surrender, it's not possible. It's not possible. There's something that is pushing us to be independent from Krishna because we want a position. But when we obtain the stage of Madhyamadikari, this is the stage where I will not be cheated anymore. That's finished. Finished, beautiful woman, money, this or that. Even if I'm given the position of Brahma, I don't care. I will not be cheated anymore. It's finished. But before that, it's pretty good, huh? There are nice things in this world. Material suffering is, I'm really inspired by material suffering. So, to solve the problem of our existence is a question of sincerity. We must learn to pray. On our own, we'll not be able to go beyond this level. We have to pray. Prayer is very important. We should approach the deities and open our heart. I cannot do it. Please help me. And after, when you pray sincerely, don't complain because Krishna will take out the things that you like. Oh Lord, I didn't say anything. It's too late. He takes everything. Everything you love, He will take. Because everything you love is everything you have to let go. The proof is, if the Guru will give you a service, will he have given you this service? No, it is your desire. The Guru engages your desire. But if Guru will give you an activity, will it have been that activity? If it is that one, okay, perfect. That means you have no material desires. Otherwise, it means you have material desires. It's not so simple. It's rare. Persons who can surrender everything. That means that in their previous life, they already practiced. But it doesn't mean that everything is finished. The Guru engages things. And since the spiritual master accepts the service, Krishna also accepts it. And of course, one day, everyone will be able to obtain complete detachment and devotion. It's just a question of time. There's no injustice. Krishna, he can give us gold, iron. He can transform everything. But it takes time. Somehow there we are conscious about this. It's not Krishna's fault. It is our fault. We take the decision strongly by saying, no, I want to do this now. So we will have to suffer the consequences. You understand? We decide. So, like, for example, when we decide to be angry, to do this or that, we decide. We know that in the scriptures, we are not advised to be like this. It blocks the spiritual advancement. So, sometimes we do things that are forbidden. Why should we be disturbed by the reactions that come from that? You understand? So, of course, reactions will come. But we have the right to ask forgiveness, to rectify ourselves, to change ourselves. If we will not feel the reactions of our actions, that means we will be punished by the Lord. Because when we feel we have acted wrongly, it means He is observing us, and by this observation, we feel that we acted wrong. From there, we must have the intelligence, no? We will not wait to be on the electric pole and being burnt. Please take me back. Listen. It doesn't mean that every time we have to go to the extreme. As soon as we feel a little bit, then we have to change attitude. That's how we can progress spiritually. It's important. But if you feel that you're acting wrong, but you do not ask forgiveness, then it will become, your heart will become hardened. You will become less and less sensitive to love. Everything will be finished. But first, we must learn to hear Vaishnavas. If we lose taste for listening to Vaishnavas, that means there's a problem. If we prefer to do our small sadhana instead of going to the class, that means there's a problem. That means there's a big problem. We must really love listening to Vaishnavas. It's very important. If we do not listen to those who speak about Krishna, we will listen what? You understand? And the Srimad Bhagavatam class is a process that has been given by our acharyas. Srimad Bhagavatam itself explains that the one who listens to Srimad Bhagavatam, he attains perfection. It's just a question of time. So we should have faith in these words and continue and be happy to hear Krishna Katha. Thank you very much.